focus, baby? Let's get you in focus. Are you in focus? There we go. Now you're in focus. Okay, Smoochy. We are continuing to read the Feline Nutrition Foundation archives from a website called hair-today.com. And we'll put that in the description box so people can get the information themselves. And we're on an article, Feline Inflammatory Bowel Disease, Nature and Treatment. The inflammatory bowel diseases are the most common cause of chronic vomiting and diarrhea in cats and refer to a group of diseases. The term inflammatory bowel disease, or IBD, is applied to a group of poorly understood gut pathologies that are considered to be a consequence of uncontrolled intestinal inflammation in response to a combination of elusive factors that may involve the diet, the environment, the gut microflora, and dysregulation of the immune system in susceptible cats. The main hypothesis for the cause and development of human IBD is that there is a dysregulation of the mucosal immune responses to intestinal microflora and or dietary antigens. This same abnormal immune response to dietary antigens is often suspected in feline IBD. Recent investigations have focused on attempts to better define the immunopathogenesis of the disease. The absorption of digested food happens in the small intestine, mainly in the first two parts, the duodenum and the jejunum. You can read this article if you like and find these fun words for yourself. I'm doing my best. The walls of these parts of the digestive system form tiny finger-like projections called between them. These villi are lined by cells called enterocytes, which work to absorb nutrients and pass them into the bloodstream to nourish the body. The importance of these cells cannot be overstated. These cells are born in the base of the villi, known as the crypts, and travel to the top of the villi, where they are shed off, constantly being renewed, as in their short life, they work incredibly hard. And here is a picture of what they're talking about. It says that the top is normal mucosa of the duodenum, featuring healthy villi and intact surface enterocytes. The lower is an image of flattened mucosal surface with the absence of villi and surface enterocyte injury. So this is healthy gut, and this is unhealthy. And it's pretty obvious to see that this allows absorption. And that's what it's saying. It's saying that there's down in these crypts. And if you look at this, how is the gut supposed to absorb, right? Right, Bushi? Okay. Listening? Okay, let's continue. The changes seen in the intestines of a cat with IBD include clear architectural changes. The villi change their shape and become flat and blunted, fusing together and decreasing the surface area available for absorption of nutrients. Infiltrate fills the crypts and the cell villi, all important enterocytes, can no longer function properly. The integrity of the gut is damaged. It results in increased permeability to toxins from the gut lumen and increased bacterial translocation. All of this damage leads to chronic vomiting and diarrhea as the ability of the intestines to digest food is impaired. Diagnosing IBD. Diagnosis of IBD requires comprehensive exclusion of potential causes of intestinal inflammation, including intestinal parasites, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, bacterial enterocolitis, dietary intolerances, and neoplasia. Diagnosed, three features are normally present. 1. A history of chronic gastrointestinal disease. 2. Histopathological of inflammation of the gut to the gut. 3. Exclusion of any known cause. Scoring is in use in clinical practice for defining the severity and prognosis of IBD, known as the Feline Chronic Enteropathy Activity Index. It grades cats from normal to severely pain, from none to more than 3 times per week, to fecal blood and mucus loss from 0 to 10%, and also includes appearance of endoscopic lesions and total protein levels. The index is useful in assessing a cat's response to dietary change and treatment protocols. Pathological evidence is usually obtained by examining a sample of tissue from a biopsy of the cat's gut. Histopathological diagnosis is not straightforward, especially in cats, as the differentiation of lymphosarcoma and IBD can be difficult, if not impossible, on a routine section. The surprising realization in cats is that the prognosis for IBD may not be very different to the prognosis of lymphoma. A sequel to chronic IBD can be intestinal lymphoma. These tumors may occur because of the notorious habit of cats to develop tumors at sites of chronic inflammation. The role of gut flora. The main purpose of having a digestive system is to be able to digest and absorb food. Without a healthy gut flora, the digestive system cannot fulfill this function. Anatomical integrity of the digestive tract, its functionality, ability to adapt and regenerate, and ability to defend itself are directly dependent on the gut flora. It is established that the density and composition of the mucosal flora is related to the presence and severity of intestinal inflammation in cats and suggests that mucosal bacteria are involved in the cause and development of feline IBD. It is hypothesized that IBD could be a variable response to a specific pathogen or an inappropriate or excessive immunological response to normal luminal microorganisms. The whole length of the digestive tract is coated with a tough bacterial layer, providing a natural barrier against invaders, undigested food, toxins, and parasites. These indigenous bacteria produce antibiotic-like substances, antifungal volatiles, antiviral substances, and they engage the immune system to respond appropriately to invaders. Without well-functioning gut flora, the gut wall is unprotected and malnourished. Normal gut flora provides a major source of energy and nourishment for the cells lining the digestive tract. It is increasingly clear that dietary influences on the intestinal flora are involved in health and disease. It is likely that through interaction with the gut flora, certain diets could protect against the development of IBD, whilst other diets actually predispose to the development of IBD. In the management of IBD, it is prudent to select diets with a high digestibility. Information on the bioavailability of nutrients for cats and dogs is particularly lacking. The most commonly accepted methods of determining bioavailability of nutrients have not been validated for the cat. Diet and IBD. Let's see, someone's saying hello, so cute. He's not angry. She's a she. She's not angry. She's very chill and relaxed right now. I'm reading a bedtime story to her about kitty cat gut health. Yes, here we go. Let's look at diet as a trigger for IBD in cats. Our knowledge of nutrient requirements in cats is in the tissue of the prey animals. Most household cats no longer hunt, but are instead fed commercially prepared foods. These foods are rich in plant-derived nutrients because to supply cats with all animal diets is seen as significantly more expensive. The trend has been to make foods with greater proportions of vegetable-based products and to supplement them with the necessary nutrients. The result is that the majority of cats are eating processed pet food containing poor quality, often inappropriate protein, grains, additives, and preservatives, a far cry from the diet they are designed to eat. The pet food producers have recognized that many cats have food intolerances and food allergies due in large part to the poor quality, biologically inappropriate ingredients in commercial pet food, and the same manufacturers are now offering allergen-free varieties. The need for allergen-free pet food is the result of years of feeding poor quality protein, grains, and fillers, toxic additives, and preservatives to our obligate carnivores. A damaged protein to trigger an allergic reaction response. Marketing claims identify protein as the primary culprit in food intolerances and specifically target intact animal protein. Hydrolyzed, hydrolyzed, hydrolyzed protein diets are the current craze. The hydrolyzed protein being small enough not to trigger an immune response. We need to recognize that the problem lies with the integrity of the gut wall. Are you licking yourself? Okay. If we can repair the gut wall, the cat will no longer be intolerant of the important of feeding led to the rise in inflammatory and loss of integrity of the gut wall. By feeding cats and not recognizing them as carnivores, we have damaged their intestinal tracts. We live in an era of convenience foods. Any processing of food changes its chemical and biological structure. The more food is processed, the more nutrient depleted and chemically altered it becomes. To compensate for the loss of taste, flavor, and color during processing, various chemicals and flavor and various additives, preservatives. By negatively altering the gut flora, processed foods play an important part in damaging the intestinal tract. It is increasingly clear that dietary influences on the intestinal flora are involved in health and disease. Hmm. I just lost reception. I wonder if you guys are hearing me okay. Feeding your cat using a variety of protein food just disconnected again. That sucks. I'm sorry if it's having connection issues. Ugh. It is my professional experience that a healthy balance of gut bacteria and a species-appropriate raw food for cats will protect and nourish the body. The introductory diet allows the gut lining to heal, restores the correct balance of intestinal bacteria, and relieves the body of an excessive toxic load. Continuing to feed in an appropriate raw cat food diet once the gut has healed is the best long-term management of cats with IBD. Cats previously diagnosed with IBD may already be on steroids, and I would suggest that their medication be adjusted as improvement is seen. Steroids can be withdrawn slowly, and many cats can be weaned off their medication under the supervision of their veterinarian by using the introductory diet followed by a raw cat food diet. Cats with serious digestive problems may show signs of diarrhea, abdominal pain, bloating, and constipation. These cats need to be transitioned to a raw diet via the introduction diet, which will reduce the symptoms quickly and initiate the healing process. It is not clear if the cat has IBD, food allergies, or the introductory diet their gut lining. Swooshy, it's so dark we can't even see you. Oh, there's your face. There's your face. Okay, you're still listening. The reason food allergies and food intolerances occur is due to what is called a leaky gut. When the gut lining has been damaged by abnormal microflora, foods do not get the chance to be digested properly before they get absorbed into the bloodstream through the damaged gut lining and cause the immune system to react to them. Trying to identify which foods your cat reacts to is likely to be impossible. Foods leaked into the blood when only partially wait, foods leaked into the blood when only partially digested may cause an immediate reaction or a delayed reaction a day, a few days, or even a couple of weeks later. As these reactions overlap, you can never be sure exactly what the cat is reacting to. Testing for food allergies is notoriously unreliable. As long as the gut wall is damaged and stays damaged, you can juggle the diet forever and get nowhere. From my clinical experience, it is best to concentrate on healing the gut with an introductory diet. Once the gut wall is healed, foods will be properly digested before being absorbed, which will remove most food intolerances and allergies. Someone's saying, it's 3 a.m. and I think I'm regretting it. All right. Introductory diet of homemade meat or fish stock. Meat and fish stocks provide building blocks for the rapidly growing cells of the gut lining, and they have a soothing effect on any areas of inflammation in the gut. Bone broth is rich in minerals including calcium, phosphorus, magnesium, sodium, potassium, sulfate, and fluoride, all delivered in an easily absorbable form. The minerals will improve immune function and support healthy digestion. Bone broth is also rich in collagen. Collagen is a protein containing two important amino acids, proline and glycine, and it will help heal the lining of the gut to relieve intestinal inflammation. Broths also contain, oh, this is a big word, glycosaminoglycans, also called GAGs, important building blocks for tissue repair. This is why broths aid digestion and have been known for centuries as healing folk remedies for the digestive tract. Do not use commercially available soup stock granules or bouillon cubes, as they are highly processed and contain detrimental ingredients such as M.S.E.G, which is monosodium glutamate, I believe. Chicken stock is particularly gentle on the stomach and is very good to start with. To make good meat stock, you need joints, bones, a piece of meat on the bone, a whole chicken, goose, or duck, whole pigeons, pheasants, or other inexpensive meats. It is preferable to use free range or organic meats when possible. It is essential to use bones and joints, as they provide the healing minerals and collagen more so than the muscle meats. If you are using larger boned meats, ask the butcher to cut in half the large tubular bones so you can get the bone marrow out of them after cooking. Put the bones, joints, and meats into a large pan and fill it with water. Bring to a boil, cover, and simmer on a low heat for 2.5 to 3 hours. I'll add that the crock pot is excellent for this. If you sing "You're My Sunshine" to me, maybe it might change. Ah, here we go. My only. That's all you get. You can make fish stock the same way using a whole fish or fish fins, bones, and head. After cooking, take the bones and meats or fish out and sieve the stock to remove small bones. Strip off all of the soft tissues from the bones as best as you can and encourage your patient to eat them. Reserve the extra for adding to meals later. Extract the bone marrow out of large tubular bones while they are still warm. To do that, bang the bone on a thick wooden chopping board. The gelatin tissues of the bones and the bone marrow provide some of the best healing ingredients for the gut lining and the immune system. Your patient needs to consume them with every meal. Meat or fish stock will keep well in the fridge for at least 7 days, or all of the fat in the stock bones, as these fats are essential for the healing process. Probiotics are essential to introduce right from the beginning. Probiotics are found naturally in fermented foods such as green tripe. For people, probiotics are found in foods such as kefir, sauerkraut, and yogurt. Probiotics provide a healthy balance of gut bacteria to protect and nourish the body. Probiotic bacteria ensures the gut is an effective first line of defense and ensures the effective digestion of food. For cats, I use BioCult capsules. Some probiotics available in North America are Fortiflora, Proviable, Bennyback, Plus, and many brands made by smaller companies. Start with just a pinch on one meal a day, building to a pinch on every meal and in every drink of the broth. To avoid any reactions, introduce probiotic foods gradually. There can be a die-off reaction, which may present as lethargy in cats, as the body has to deal with the clearing of the bacteria which die off and any associated toxins they produce. A bit like a hangover toxin overload. Make sure that the food is not too hot when adding the probiotic powder, as the heat will destroy the beneficial probiotic bacteria. You can feed your cat more and more of the meat and soft tissues mixed with the broth until the signs of diarrhea, bloating, abdominal pain, and constipation have gone away. In most cats, this happens quite quickly, within a week or two, but in severe cases, it can take months. I would then introduce highly digestible, species appropriate raw cat food. In my practice, we usually start with rabbit fillets. We then progress to rabbit mince, which is ground meat, bone, and organs. If fillets and mince are tolerated, we like to get cats chewing on pieces of raw, meaty bone, such as rabbit shoulders, as quickly as possible. Introduce new raw foods regularly. Every week, a new type of raw meat can be added, watching for any recurrence of clinical signs. The keys to improved health. What is important is that a cat has a healthy mucosal flora in the gut and a species appropriate diet. By optimizing these two factors, we give the cat the best chance of repairing the inflamed gut. So, a restorative diet and the restoration of the bowel flora are two key components of helping a cat with IBD. There is a definite connection between the functioning of the gut and the functioning of the rest of the body. When food is not digested and absorbed properly, our cats suffer from multiple nutritional deficiencies. Inflamed guts became a source of toxins rather than a source of nourishment. Healing and sealing the leaky gut is the key to improving health. The gut has great capacity for repair when fed a species appropriate raw cat food diet. This article was written by Dr. Lynn Thompson, trained at the University of Bristol in England, and is studying with the Australasian College of Nutritional Environmental Medicine, a dedicated and experienced advocate of bio-appropriate nutrition. Lynn practices in Auckland, New Zealand. Her raw essential stores have grown to 7 retail locations, providing a variety of raw diet products for cats and dogs. And then there's all these sources for the article. Oh, wow. All right. Looking at the comments. Okay, Smooshy, that was your bedtime story for tonight. So we'll read some more later. Have a wonderful evening. Goodbye.